Diane, angry, narcissistic, bitter, racist, and overall, Diane made us a promise. At the end of last year, September, October, November, somewhere in there, she made us a promise at the end of 2024 that she would stop making videos, and I believed her. And when she came back 4 months ago, I said, okay, maybe it's a one-off thing. Maybe it's a goodbye video for 2025. And when she spent 2 days recording and posting 24 YouTube shorts, I thought, okay, they're not getting that much attention. I'm sure she'll stop. And for a while she did. But the problem with people who need attention, who need to be validated, who think they have a story to tell that is so much more important than everyone else's, is that they always come back. Diane will not stop telling the story of how her daughter left her until each and every person who watches her videos hates her daughter. And so this week we'll have 2 more. Keep in mind, this is the same woman who has falsely copyright claimed so many creators, including me now. And in the last 3 weeks where I've been waiting for my video to be reinstated, she's been sitting outside once again trying to be some guru who just made a mistake and now wants to profit off it. It doesn't matter that she's an estranged parent. She doesn't have good advice. Her advice ends the exact same way it always has. Hey, I've gone through this. You're going through this. Give me money. I'll nod my head. So Diane, congratulations. I'm sure you've really made a difference being a terrible person posting videos where your own comment section looks like every video you make just shows why your child chose to stop speaking to you. The entitlement that you have towards your children is appalling. The fact that you chose to blame your child and make it public is just sad. Instead of self-reflecting and trying to figure out what truly happened and repair your relationship, you tried to publicly shame her. From what I can see, you made this channel to try and shame your daughter to come back. Instead, you exposed yourself and showed the world who you really are. If your child, out of the blue, cuts contact with you, it's not because of politics. That was the last straw for them. You need to see you are the problem. For those that agree with her, you really need to take a step back. I understand parenting is difficult, but the fact that you think you're blameless and the reason your child did cut contact with you is just wild. Stop throwing a tantrum. No one that isn't huffing the same delusion as you is going to take your side. Get help. I bet my mom watches these videos and blames social media for me stopping her from stealing from me. This is wild behavior, Diane. Please go to therapy. As an estranged mother by her child, I would never go online and make a channel to vilify my child. Maybe work on yourself and your relationship with your daughter. This is kind of wild. My siblings and I have done crazy stuff, and our mom would never ever post negative things about us online. No matter how mad we made her, she would never ever post a single negative thing about us. This is an entire channel devoted to how resentful you feel towards your daughter. If my mom did that, I think I would be terrified of her. This is not about resentment at all. It is about helping parents heal from heartbreak by explaining to them that the normal thing to do here is to read 13,967 hate comments and disagree with them just because they were mean to you, and then to tell grown adults to hold funerals for their living children because they're dead to them. It is not at all about resentment. Great advice. Thank you. I feel rejection and resentment. Diane, it's just, I can't believe you did nothing wrong or it was for no reason. She does not like you. Get over it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Not every estranged parent, thank God, is like Diane. Plenty of them are able to respect boundaries. Plenty of them are sorry. Plenty of them have changed. Plenty of them are very different people than who they were when their children decided to cut contact. If we remember Dawn, I recently learned that she had responded to me on TikTok and I just never saw it. So if that's something that we want to go over, I'm happy to do so. But in her response to me in this video, she was really nice. She went through the entire video, thanked me for going through her entire videos, explained some of the questions that I had, nodded her head at a few things that I said thank you, dipped out. And I absolutely disagree with a lot of what she said, a lot of what she's done. But to be a parent who made a mistake and to be willing to listen is who you should be first, not the person who goes online to bash your daughter because she doesn't like you in the way that you pretend to love her. But before I just sit here and rant for the next 40 minutes, Diane, I'm sure you're skipping around and not listening to every word I say, or probably any of them really, but hi, you wanted to be special and unique so bad. You did it. You became someone so deeply disgusting that no one else wants to be anything like them. That being said, dude, I need to cut my hair. This is going to be regurgitated advice from her. Something that I do a lot is I kind of repeat myself, right? Like my ideas are pretty set. And so when I meet a question that I already have an answer for, I just give the answer that I've already previously had. Diane is just repeating herself 3 ways to ease estrangement, and she's gonna cut down the ones that people didn't like before. Like, she's probably not gonna tell people to hold a funeral for their kids this time, but she's already said, write a letter, don't send it. Make a video on your own private YouTube channel. Stalk their TikTok looking for yourself in the comments. In the same breath, get annoyed that people watch your video and criticize it because you say it's about you, it's private, and they shouldn't be allowed to watch it if they're just gonna be mean, but then say that you should be allowed to watch your daughter's TikToks because they're public. And if she didn't want you to see them, they would be private. If you looked up hypocrite in the dictionary in 1943, there would be a picture of Diane right there. And the reason it's not there anymore is because she submitted a copyright strike for them using her picture. Diane, you're so old. You were around when the thesaurus was still roaming the earth. Get it? Because like it sounds like a dinosaur, but I just like talked about a dictionary. So now it's like a thesaurus. Encyclopedia. That one was dumb, Max.
Are you carrying the pain of estrangement?
Are you carrying the weight of multiple children not respecting you for disrespecting them their entire lives? Are you carrying the hurt of being a mother so desperate to be accepted that you refuse to accept anything about your 2 daughters? Are you carrying the bruises on your palms from having pushed them away too hard?
When my daughter cut contact over politics,
Diane does a really good job of using copyrighted music, so I am going to have to cut it off a lot. When my daughter estranged from me over politics, meaning when my daughter sent me a letter explaining all the different reasons why she didn't want me in her life anymore, I chose the one that I thought I could refute. I chose the one where I thought if I posted it online, people would agree with me, not her. And years later, I'm still going to talk about it because this is now my only personality trait. When my daughter separated from me due to politics because I said people like you shouldn't exist. Damn. I'm the victim here, and I'll always be the victim. Also, we've talked about this a ton. The politics is absolutely just the final thing that happened. I'm sure there were plenty of other things, like that letter said, that led up to it. The only person surprised was Diane. I'm sure her husband, Ted, wasn't surprised at all.
my heart had been ripped out of my chest.
Having your heart ripped out of your chest, Diane, probably doesn't hurt that much when it's small enough to fit through the slits of your rib cage. We're going to take a walk with her through this little hiking trail, and at the end of it, I want you to remember we are working our way towards her $20 group chat. Every video, I know the pain, I know the struggle. I'm so sorry, I'm just like you. If you want a community of people who are just like us, ready to help you and only you, to make you the center of attention, to listen to your story and help you get to the next chapter, join my $20 a month group chat. Where, surprise, we are all actually the same person and we're going to get mad at each other because we all want to be the center of attention.
Relationships take 2. And remember, you are dealing with another adult here.
Relationships take 2. Remember, you're dealing with another adult here. So instead of respecting them as adults and the boundaries they've set, the friends they have, the presence on the internet they have aside from you, what you're gonna do as the other more mature, older adult in this situation, you're gonna stalk them. You're gonna make videos about them. You're gonna speak ill of them and then go, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm the victim here. It was my fault, but when I pushed her, I also fell back. That kind of hurt. She's the old lady that gets like recorded out in the middle of the street, walks up to you, smacks your phone and goes, "Ah, my hand. Oh, you did this. I'm suing you."
And it's not all your fault.
The pain, anger, sadness, guilt, it's real and it's not all your fault. If it were, you wouldn't have told us about the time you fed it, the time you bought it that candy, the time you held it, like Homer Simpson holds Bart sometimes. She goes on to do the marketing thing, and today I'm sharing 3 simple steps that allowed me to get over my estrangement, including one that changed everything about me, and I'll get to that one at the end. So stick around. It is disgusting as a person to see, to witness, to have to sit down and just stare at the way she has commercialized not only her estrangement, but estrangement as a whole. There are people who are hurt, who want answers, who want relationships they'll never have again, and we just have to find a way to make money off them. Even if the estrangement was entirely your fault, you should be allowed a space to heal from that. You should be allowed somewhere to go and to be a person. Aside from your children, if they don't want a relationship from you, you should go find somewhere to be. And unfortunately, the places that reel people in, just like the alpha males reel in like lonely teenage boys to say, oh, all women are awful, you find people like Diane, like Doormat Mom, who find these parents who are just so scared of the world in front of them that they're willing to fall back into blaming and hating children. There are plenty of people out there who aren't going to do this to you, and you should look for them if this is the situation you're in. Diane is a wrong person to be saying anything any of the time. Every now and then she'll read something someone else said, and it sounds really smart, but you have to remember that it's poisoned. You can't take her advice because she'll reel you in and try and feed you the idea that your children are to blame completely, because it can't be her fault.
First, name your pain.
This is something that she's brought up in multiple videos now. Name your pain. I'm surprised she hasn't named it Haley, her daughter's name, and just tried to physically stab it. She goes on to say that estrangement is ambiguous loss. You are grieving someone who isn't really gone, who isn't dead, who is still alive. And she has been saying that for years now. And for years, people have been telling her, hey, maybe not the right way to go about that. Like, your daughter is very much still alive. You can celebrate her accomplishments aside from you from pretty far back. You can still say, I have a daughter who's pretty great, who has a cool online presence. She's dope. I also have another daughter who's estranged. She works in a monastery. She's also pretty cool. But instead, it's easier for you to sit back and say, they're dead to me, so they are dead. Which is just an easy way to prove that the relationships you have with other people are based on their relation to you. She is my daughter, or she is dead. I have plenty of friends that I no longer talk to, from high school, from college, from life, for no real reason other than we went separate ways. I don't sit here and go, wow, they're dead to me. I hope they're doing great and I wish them the best. And I can't imagine being a good parent and not being able to do that for your child.
Bottling it up only makes it worse.
Bottling it up only makes it worse, but sharing it on the internet for a bunch of people to judge you and then you get really, really defensive is probably not any better. You should have spoken to a therapist. You should still speak to a therapist. The amount of times I've heard licensed therapists on YouTube say, I commented on her video and she deleted it. Or I made a video about her and she tried copyright striking it. She doesn't know what she's talking about and she's weaponizing this fake hurt that she now feels. It's been so long that though it's probably still some sort of blunt pain, it's not new. You haven't figured out your way around it. You just know it's the only way people pay attention to you.
So when I was drowning in sadness, I started naming my emotions.
All that made me think of was Inside Out, and like the inside of Diane's head is just like 4 of the angry one and then 1 of the sadness ones, but she like isn't sad, she just needs attention sad. Whoa, Diane, you look different. Did you get a haircut?
I feel angry.
She goes on to explain that in naming her emotions, it was just her sitting down and going, I am sad. Or today I'm angry. And because that's like a really, really hard concept to try and grasp, the idea of being able to say how you feel alone to yourself in a way that validates your own emotions, she's going to teach us how to do that.
So here's how to do it. Grab a notebook, sit quietly for 5 minutes. Ask yourself, what am I feeling now? Write it or say it, but don't judge it. This is important. Don't judge.
I want to do the whole bit where like I sit back, I grab a notebook, I write down something stupid like I'm hungry, because that's all I'm really feeling right now, or I'm a little annoyed at Diane, but it's not going to help anyone. I don't want to make fun of the idea of any of this. I think that when you go see a therapist, if your therapist says to do this, you should do it. You should fall completely into who it is you're trying to be. The idea of this, any of this, coming from Diane is what's stupid. The idea that any of what Diane can say isn't nullified by who it is that's saying it is weird. Again, she's more than capable of repeating good ideas, but we shouldn't even have to listen to them. We should be able to bypass her, and if we're in this situation, find people who are good people to try and guide us through it, or go to therapy. Pay someone who is licensed in being able to help you take a step and another step and another step into trying to be the person that you are, instead of falling for the trap of alpha male incel coaches, Diane, crypto scammers. They're all the same person. And I'm going to say that you know it's a good idea because she has an entire video dedicated to therapy being a scam. She calls it the therapy industrial complex, where no, therapy doesn't work. It can't work. Otherwise, they'd be out of money. No, doctors don't heal you. Otherwise, they'd be out of money. No, medicine actually makes you more sick so that you buy more medicine. No, showering is a scam. You're just going to get dirty again. Making your bed, just to get in it again. Like, it's so dumb to think of therapy that way instead of just thinking about it like a shower. It's a shower. It's a shower for your brain. You shouldn't only shower when you are completely covered in mud and disgusting. It should just be a routine.
Maybe you're feeling guilt. Maybe it's betrayal, maybe it's resentment. Naming it gives you power over it.
I want to remind everyone that in the comments she said it's not at all about resentment, but she can point it out and also say that it's not about that. But it is, because this is what you're using to try and get people to agree with you and to come in. Maybe you're guilty. No. Angry? No. Resentful? Yeah. Oh, dude, me too. Yeah. Why don't you just like come hang out? We have pickleball. But don't play with Paul. He's really bad at it and gets his feelings hurt. What a wild crossover that would be.
I remember one day walking in the woods, I whispered out loud, I feel so lost.
2 roads diverged in a yellow wood. To my left, the idea of my daughter forgiving me, changing entirely as a person. Hoping one day to be the mother she wished she had. And hoping for another day in which maybe she, and now my other daughter, come back to me. And to the right, grifting. Right-wing grifting. Taking estranged parents trying to be better people and tricking them into paying me to be nothing more than they've already become. I took the one less traveled by. And I became exactly who it is my daughter has said I have always been. The problem isn't who I am. The problem isn't the ideas that I have. The problem isn't the problematic things I've said and believe. The problem is that you take an issue with them. Grow up. Agree with me. How lucky people must be to live and die without having to be in any sort of way compassionate. How lucky some people are to live and die without having to be empathetic. How lucky some people are to live their entire lives thinking only of themselves and blaming everyone else for the world around them. How lucky, how lucky, how lucky, how lucky you must be to have been born a sociopath. Wish it was me. Instead, I have feelings, and much too many.
And you can do this anytime or anywhere. It's like shining a light on the chaos in your heart.
This is a guide on how to forgive yourself for the terrible things you've said and done to others. I don't think you need a guide for that if this is the kind of person you are. I think you can sit back and be like, oh, all right, not my fault. Cool. Next.
So which emotions do you struggle with the most? Let me know in the comments.
Not really an emotion, but I struggle telling people that I love them, aside from like my girlfriend and my dog. But also, what if that's their fault? What if all my friends are just unlovable? All right, that's not about me.
Second, write a letter you'll never send.
But read it word for word on YouTube.
This is my favorite tool, and it's straight from my Heartbreak to Healing community program.
And there's a first plug. This is my favorite tool, and it is straight from my program. So we have an introduction, we have the first plug, and when we get that third magical thing that changed your entire life, she's going to tell you exactly where you can go and find it for yourself.
It's not about contacting your child because they've blocked you from their lives.
If she hadn't blocked you, you would still be allowed to contact her, right? Because if she doesn't block you, that means the door's open.
It's about releasing what's trapped inside so that you can move forward.
Every estranged parent who has done this, who is some sort of online personality, should have to read out those letters. I want to know, what are you so angry about? I'm angry that you made a decision to no longer be my child after I've done everything for you, from pretending to pay attention to you to wishing that you were someone entirely different. I'm sorry that the person you are is so hateful and gross that they cannot accept me for being perfect. Damn, makes me feel a lot better.
When I wrote a letter to my daughter during this release process, I poured everything out. Anger, love, sadness.
We've seen the anger, and it would be really stupid of me to say that this isn't something that made her sad. I don't think it's something that makes her sad. It's something that made her sad. I do think it's something that made her sad at the beginning. But I've never seen the love, not once, in any of her videos, and I've unfortunately watched all of them. Not once have I seen an interaction with her and her daughter that I thought was loving. Even in the B-roll footage she showed of her daughter as a child, never did I go, oh, Diane is like raising her. Diane's being a mom. Diane made it about herself, just as she has with literally everything else. Nothing, not a single thing have I seen in these videos that could be called love for your daughter from Diane. You could 100% make the case that these videos are all wanting to be loved by your daughter from the side of Diane, but none of them, not a single one, has even been kind to her, let alone loving.
Sadness, disbelief.
Not surprised that the woman that doesn't believe in civil rights for all is in disbelief of other things. She also doesn't believe that black doctors are qualified. Wow. Surprise.
I didn't send it, but I felt like I'd set down a heavy bag. It's for you, not for them.
So she goes on to explain that the way to do this is to sit down and just write for 10 minutes, write to your child and say, I love you, I miss you, I'm sorry, whatever it is that you have to say. And I'm coming from an entirely different direction than she is. I'm a big believer in actions. I'm a big believer in loving people so hard and actively that they don't have to question whether or not you love them. And for me, words are very secondary. And when you're at a point where the person that you love doesn't even want to talk to you, you can't even talk to them, so you write it down to make yourself feel better, that's just weird to me. I get it, sure, it's probably very helpful for a lot of people, but I'm on the other side of this. I don't care what it is you have to say. You should have loved me when you had the chance to, not write it down years later for attention. She then goes on to explain that with her letter personally, she burned it and she spread the ashes around a tomato plant that is still growing and feeding her family. Like, yep, that's a very, very accurate metaphor for the way that your daughter, through no fault of her own and completely unwilling, is still feeding you and giving you attention because all you do is talk about her in a negative way on the internet. She didn't ask to be a part of that. She didn't agree to be a part of that. You took away her autonomy. And you want me to believe that you're a good parent? You're more than allowed to tell your own story. Absolutely. She could sit here and say, I'm going through something and that sucks. But so many times she's brought up her daughter's feelings, whether or not they're even her feelings, and then just tried so hard to dismantle them. She's tried to turn every single person who watches her videos against her daughter. Not only on her side, hey, let's support each other. Let's actively hate these kids. And that's so stupid.
One parent I work with, she wrote, I wish you'd see my heart.
Who does that help? I wish you would see how much you are hurting me. I wish you could see how much I actually love you inside. Though I'm never going to express it to you. I'm never going to be able to show or tell you. I wish you could see how it is that I feel, regardless of how it makes you feel and how I've made you feel. I wish you could see how everything is just about me. You're an adult, and I unfortunately do not care that you were never taught to show emotion. You just have to do it. It's hard and it's uncomfortable. But if your options are make yourself uncomfortable and lose your children, I think it's an easy choice. She then says her third way to ease estrangement, the one that was an absolute life changer for her, was to connect with hope. Not the hope that you will one day reconcile with your child, but rather the hope that you can move on without them.
This one was a real game changer for me. God, the universe, did not put you here to be miserable.
God did not put you here to be miserable. God gave you multiple children and them only one mother. It's their fault if they leave you. You could just have another kid. They'll never have another mom. Diane, it's 2025. Everyone's calling somebody mommy. Okay, chill. Diane then goes on to explain that hope for her was just finding a way through it and doing tiny things to get there. Like, she called a friend who listened. She wrote a letter. She didn't do anything else. She didn't make a ton of videos trashing her daughter. Nope. She didn't try and turn 1.3 million people against her. She didn't retaliate. Nope, that never happened. Never. Diane ends the video by saying, don't get stuck. Name your pain. Write that letter. Find your hope and your peace, and to finally reach out to someone, a neighbor, a friend, someone who is just going to sit there and listen to you. Diane, you couldn't pay me to pretend that I believe that you have friends. Especially not if they've seen your videos. There's so much music, so I'm going to just preface this for her. She says, I'm going to show you how to find joy in your life again.
In this video here.
Diane, who uploaded this video for you? It's down here. It's a 6-minute video. You couldn't watch it back? You had one job, woman. It was being a mom. But then you got another job and it was making videos.
Or here.
Nope, nothing behind me. It's just the one. You went 0 for 2. Congrats, you're Shaq shooting free throws. Whew, I hope this video is not anywhere near as long for you guys as I've been recording. That being said, that's not the end of Diane, even for this week. She copyright struck me, it got resolved, and I'm doubling down. Diane, the woman you think you are, you're not. You're a coward. You're evil. You are so afraid of taking the criticism you're so quick to give. And that sucks for you. So thank you for spending time with me. This is my favorite thing to do. And all of you but Diane are my favorite people to do it with. I will hopefully be here all week. So I'll see y'all soon. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't. My goal for the week is just to ratio all of her videos, and I think we can do that together. So get out of here. Have a good day. Have a great week. I'll see y'all soon. Toast is sleeping in the other room. I'm not going to make her move. All right, get out of here. Go. Goodbye.